Welcome everyone to the Metaphysical Dynamics podcast, and here we have Bill, Milton, and Cindy here tonight for our paranormal experience subject that we're going to discuss tonight. And how about Miss Cindy? Do you want to start introducing yourself?
I'm Cindy Kadori Schultz, and I'd like to welcome everyone watching to the Keeping Room. This is our newest addition to the Farnsworth House, and we tell ghost stories here. We also share a lot of history in this room.
Thank you. Mr. Milton?
Yes, my name is Milt, and I am the marketing and social media manager for the Farnsworth House, and also a storyteller and paranormal investigator here at the house.
That's very nice. I appreciate you correcting me. Mr. Bill.
Yep. How you doing, folks? My name is Bill Kerr from Charlottesville, Virginia. I've been here at the Farnsworth House for approximately 3 years. I'm a storyteller. I'm also a paranormal investigator here at the house.
Very nice. It's much a pleasure of mine to meet you guys, all three of you. So obviously we know why a lot of people come to Gettysburg, whether it be historical interests but a lot of people come in to Gettysburg to investigate paranormal experiences. So since you two are very much adept in having these ghost tours and guiding these people in these buildings that have a lot of spirits and everything, what are your most, I guess, creepy experiences that you've experienced?
Creepy experience? Actually, the most creepy one I've had here was, and it doesn't even involve the actual house or a paranormal investigation. It was just about 2 months ago. One of the first nights when I was working in my new office. And it was about 2-something in the morning after a paranormal investigation, and I was packing up my laptop and getting everything ready. And this horrible smell. It smelled like a rotting dead body.
Ugh.
And it just enveloped my whole office back there. And I knew what was going on, and I just said, okay, I know you're here. I smell it. It's giving me a headache. Please stop. And within a minute, the smell was gone.
Oh, wow. And where was this?
This was right back on the other side of the bookstore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, these experiences come in multiple ways, not just visual, but auditory and
Yes.
all the different senses,
Every
right?
sense that you have.
So it's like kind of like a rotting, like
It smelled
egg,
like rotten meat.
rotten egg or meat.
Rotten meat.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's definitely common. I hear that's a common, like kind of a experience that people have in terms of like real, authentic paranormal experiences. And then the temperature dropping
Yes.
as well, right?
Yes.
Mr. Bill, what about you?
It's funny. I've had several experiences here, ranging from the creepy to almost the comical.
Yeah.
With instances. Probably one where, and I can give you the exact date. It was July 2nd, 2 years ago, which
Okay.
happens to be an anniversary of the battle here at Gettysburg. A young lady, and this was just during a regular tour. It wasn't during a paranormal investigation. I don't know if you recall, when I pretty much ended my tour halfway through because I was concerned. I was concerned. Had a young lady sitting next to her husband in the front pew, and I saw her ponytail go up in the air and her actually get pulled up.
Jeez.
That kind of creeped me out.
Yeah.
That was time. No bueno after that. Another time, on one instance, I had the door downstairs, the Warren door. I'm not sure if your audience is familiar with that. Slam open.
Oh, it's always lovely.
Slam open that was actually during a paranormal investigation.
Wow.
And I have things that you would laugh at. I mean, it was comical. That's just a couple of examples of the stairs in the back of the basement, constantly getting boom, 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 going up I'd say that's, I don't want to say 50%, but it happens quite a bit, certainly on the investigations.
So, like, I know that you have a sort of a technique that you use by carrying garlic with you. And it's interesting because I kind of understand. I feel like I can understand why you do that in a sense. Where do you feel like some of them are vampiric?
No, not. It's I started carrying that actually after the young lady, after the July 2nd incident.
Okay.
Reason being is my mom. I'm half Italian heritage. My mom always had garlic on the door of the house to keep the evil spirits out.
Oh, interesting.
So I said, maybe I'll throw some garlic in my haversack and carry it around with me. It doesn't work well. Not the evil part, but it keeps, as far as the spirit stuff, there's certain entities in that house still like to show themselves when I'm doing my investigations.
They like to let you know that
They like to make their presence felt.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, but did you guys always start out as believers? And then Cindy, you can also chime in too, but of ghosts, paranormal experiences.
When I first started the ghost walks here, I had a lady ask me out on the street. She said, "Those of you who do ghost stories, are you Christians?" And at the time I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "As a matter of fact, I have a full-blown minister and 3 seminarian students that work for me. Milt is a minister." I asked her, "Do you believe in heaven?" And she said, "Of course I do." And I said, "Then how can you not believe in something else? How can you think that this is it?"
Right.
I would say that a lot of my guides that start here don't believe in ghosts. And once you've been in the Farnsworth house, within about a month, they'll come and they will have had an experience. We have had so many guests. Like I said, USA News, their readers, their voters, they voted us fourth haunted inn in the country.
That's a bold statement.
That is a bold statement.
It is.
And
We're very proud
real.
of that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to come here and not. We have B&B rooms, and each B&B room has journals in it, and customers write in the journals, and they tell us the experiences they've had in the house. So even if you come here and you might not be a believer, stick around long enough, you will be. Because I know I was over at the time I was a waitress, I was over waiting on tables, and our manager at the time, we were sitting in the hallway, and we had a new waitress in between us. And I heard the doors open and closing upstairs in the bed and breakfast. I heard people walking around. I heard what sounded like luggage being moved.
Wow.
And I said to the manager, I looked around the new waitress and I said, "Oh, our B&B guests arrived." And she just kind of went, "Okay." I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Okay. And the waitress got up and left, and she leaned in and she said, "Cindy, we don't have any B&B guests." I said, "Yeah, I heard them." And at the time, we used to keep our keys in an antique secretary over there. We don't anymore. I got the keys, and I went to each and every room, and I knocked on the door. And I, of course, what are you going to say in case you walk in on somebody? I said, "Housekeeping," every door. And there was nobody in the house. And I'm telling you, I heard. My husband's grandmother used to live here up above in the B&B, and she lived in one of the rooms up there. And she would open and close the door multiple times throughout the night.
Really?
Where she would hear people walking down the hallway.
It's curious, like how the energy transfers into like a auditory realm, if you will, or space where our ears can hear it. And do you guys think that like talismans or certain objects from a dead loved one or someone that's passed, especially if they're tragic passings, has anything to do with like how much does the object bring to life the spirit, or is it like a medium? How's that?
I don't know what
Spirit
you guys think. I think spirit has
contact.
memory. I think
Yeah.
they definitely have memory of.
I think some of them do. There are different levels, different types of spirits. There are some that, like in the house, where it kind of just plays a loop.
Yeah, like a recording.
Where it's like when you hear what sounds like they're dragging a body across the attic floor or the garret floor. You can hear that down below.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, oh, it sounds like they're moving furniture. No, if you listen carefully, it doesn't sound like somebody's pushing furniture. It sounds like somebody's dragging something very heavy across the floor.
We had parapsychologists that used to come stay here from Gettysburg College, and they would stay upstairs a lot.
Wow.
And they would hear children playing in the attic at 3 o'clock in the morning
Wow.
when there's no children up
Yeah.
there. We have one spirit called Jeremy, and he's probably the most well known. People leave things for Jeremy. Jeremy moves things.
Yeah, I've heard.
We have they use a cat ball, and they'll set that in the floor, and they'll ask Jeremy to move it. And quite often, that cat ball will be pushed across the floor when you're sitting there. So, I think that how much energy it takes, it must take a lot of energy for them to let us know they're around. But I think that it's a lot more accepted now than when it was when I first started doing this. People are more open to it.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it, my opinion is it makes it easier for a spirit to come through because we're receptive of it. We're looking for it. I often will ask people, have you ever experienced a ghost? And I go into the fact that there are so many ways to experience a ghost. If you're expecting to see them, I'd say probably most people don't see them, but you can certainly hear them, you can feel them, smell. We tell people out on the street, if you're going out, be really mindful of your surroundings because you might smell something that's out of place. Maybe you smell baked bread, where Agnes Barr was baking bread up the street for the soldiers across the street, and you might smell something out of place. Oftentimes you'll smell lavender or rose, and then I'll ask, do you know why? Well, of course, because the ladies would put lavender oil, rose oil on their handkerchiefs, lilac oil, put it over so that they could cross go outside, because when you think of what all happened here,
the smell of death.
They said that you could smell it if the wind was right. You could smell it from here to Chambersburg, and that's about 45 minutes away. So just to be able to cross the street, they would do that. When you think that July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it had been raining, it was hot, all the thousands of bodies and horses, and I think that spirit remains here because a lot of them, I don't think, know that they've passed.
Some don't.
Yeah.
It's they died suddenly. They died away from home.
Yeah, that bleeds into my next question. Is like, if it is a tragic passing or a sudden passing, then how does it affect the manifestation process of a spirit? I think that's the correct word. And you were saying, do you think it has it adds more weight into the process, or adds more it contributes more to the manifestation process?
I think it has a good bit to do with it. When you think that a lot of the boys that were in the Civil War, they came from farms, they'd never been away from home. They were young, very young, and now they find themselves fighting this war. They're barefoot, they're starving, they're
Yeah.
out here, they're wearing wool. I mean, look at, they are wearing wool. It's July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and they're wearing wool.
That's wool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so their life was ended suddenly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, a lot of them are still trying to get back home.
What would you say our responsibility is as far as communicators with the dead, if you will? I don't know a better term right now to say it, but what would our responsibility be?
Don't let them be forgotten.
Mm-hmm. To honor.
They would just want to be remembered.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
I
that's
always
fair.
say that it's like, just as Mr. Schultz and the family that own the Farnsworth house are the stewards of this house and property and the history of it, for those of us that do the storytelling and the paranormal stuff, that is our job. We are the stewards of those spirits' memories,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping those memories alive,
Nice.
telling their stories,
Yeah.
and
It's very
doing it
honorable.
in a very morally correct way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We don't really embellish things. We do not lie about our stories and what we hear and what happens here.
Yeah.
We take it very seriously
Mm-hmm.
to try and get their history just right and to keep their memory going.
Yeah, it's a beautiful job, actually.
It is.
When you think about it.
It is.
And I'm sure some part of the job entails like helping them become free, right? I mean, free of whatever sorrows they experienced, or
And if that's
what do you think?
that's what
Mr.
they
Bill?
want to do, yes.
Yeah, it's
If that's what they want to do.
Mhm.
yeah, in my experience, it's always like Milt was saying, like Cindy was saying, earlier before we started recording, it's hello, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if necessarily anyone's trying to share, whoever or whatever it is trying to share a story with me or trying to send a message or anything like that. I don't want to say the only messages I've gotten, I've gotten a few get outs in my time.
Oh wow. Yeah.
But then again, hey, you're dealing with a lot of veterans, like we mentioned, a lot of people that, died suddenly, dramatically,
And
tragically.
that ties into your experience as a.
Oh, it does. It does. And,
could you explain that job that you used to do?
I'm a retired firefighter, 32 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw it a lot of.
Like Milt,
Yeah.
I've seen my fair share of hate and discontent.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to speaking the truth, not only on this recording but to our guest, one of the things that's on my tours or investigations is I tell them straight up, I'm 58 years old, 32 years, retired 3 years. I have no reason,
Yeah. To be
I'm not
like
gonna,
making things up.
yeah, I'm not gonna start preaching horse hockey to you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for it. We were discussing, whether we were believers or not believers and stuff like that. I bring that up as well. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Kind of look at the whole picture of it. It's
Well, you were saying like your approach to it is probably even more clinical and based.
I try to be. It's I have my own beliefs and stuff like that. It's like we're mentioning. I firmly believe in energy.
Mm-hmm.
nearly 53,000 casualties in 3 days of young men from as far away as Texas. Think about that. These guys walked from Texas to come here and fight.
Walked.
It's one of the analogies that I always get a kick out of when you think about it. When you're home watching TV and your loved one gets up and to go make a sandwich, to go get a drink or something like that, you still feel their energy there when
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not in the room, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Now imagine take 53,000 people, that were
Oh.
mangled,
Mm-hmm.
Is their energy still here?
I would like to think so. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel so.
The energy of just of the trauma
Yeah.
of what occurred here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and the blood from all those
Yeah.
folks soaked
Sure.
into the ground.
That's physical. That's what I
and
was,
into the floorboards of this
Mhm.
house. And
when I was walking on the battlefield, you can feel it.
you feel it.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you
Feel
the
it,
heavy.
feel it.
It's very heavy, but there's a I like to say there's a beauty to the dark side, even though I don't walk on that side.
Right.
But to be able to appreciate it, it's there.
One of the things we actually had training
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago with Tim Smith, and he's the Adams County historical, director. So here's a man who knows his stuff. You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And the one thing, we always knew it, but to hear it from him, that there's up to approximately 1,000 bodies still on that field
wow,
that they have, that were basically dig a shallow grave, kick them in, throw dirt on their face.
mm-hmm.
That's the end of it.
Cool.
19-year-old kid from Mississippi, well, not necessarily federal troops, but from Mississippi, from Arkansas, from wherever,
Wow,
thousands of miles away from home. And that was his ending. They don't even know his name. They don't even know he's out there.
that's
it's
walk
pretty
to the
tragic.
cemetery and see all the unknown.
it's
What is your guys' opinion, I guess, or theory about curses? What do you believe a curse is, or what would the proper definition of a curse would be? I kind of like to theorize that it's a repetitive behavioral pattern that sinks into time and space. Maybe there's other better ways to put it, but if you keep on doing something over and over and over, and maybe family curses are a good example where there's a relationship dynamic that doesn't evolve and it keeps it's a destructive one, or maybe it creates a lot of emotional charge. Then maybe that stains, or I don't want to use like those type of words, but it kind of sinks into the energy field of that family, and it just keeps replaying. So does that kind of fit along the lines of what you guys think, or what is that? What would a curse be in your opinions?
Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
And how
know.
can we free them from those curses? Or maybe it would be egotistical to say we should be the ones freeing them, but yeah,
I think that,
maybe not.
I don't know, curse-wise, is it just negative energy that we've put out there? That if you say something long enough, I call it feeding the monster,
Okay.
And I think that if you put enough negativity out there, and let's face it, we can all find negativity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it in the world. There's a lot of pain in the world. But I think that if we look for the beauty,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, it kind of, there's always good versus evil.
It heals. Does it heal?
I think
Yeah.
that, as we're all touched by random acts of kindness these days.
Definitely.
And that's because, unfortunately, that's it's not the norm. It's more, the exception, not the norm. And I think that
I would agree.
personally don't know if I believe in curses. It's,
Yeah.
I have a cousin, I have family who are Cajuns, French Cajuns. And I asked my cousin's husband one day, I said, we were at Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo in New Orleans. And I said, you believe in this? He says, well, darling, I'll tell you this. I won't say that I don't believe it, but I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's kind of where I am with curses. I won't say that I believe it,
Mm-hmm.
but I respect it.
Yeah.
If I didn't respect it, again, I personally, I don't, what anybody else wants to do is up to them. I personally don't go for the Ouija boards and I don't go for the seances.
Yeah.
For me, that's opening up doors you might not be able to close.
Right.
Some people feel differently, and I respect their belief, but I just think that, you know, I don't want to say, I guess I don't want to say I don't believe in curses. I just,
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
But for me, if you put more positive out there, it kind of negates the,
Yeah. Like cancels it out.
yeah.
Yeah, because I do believe that we're all lights. I mean, not all of us, but within this room, I think, you know, we have just embodying our own, or just embracing our own being or essence throughout life. It,
Well, it's
it
kind of
does
like
do something.
Narcissist versus
The
empath.
empath. Yeah, yeah.
is kind of, you know, you've got the good and the evil. You know,
Mhm.
a narcissist, you're never going to change. They are who they are.
Yep.
You know, you recognize them for who they are, and you can either be affected by them or, you know, I've been told that I'm an empath,
Mm-hmm.
and by someone who was an empath, and they said, you know, it was actually
Oh,
on the
definitely.
radio.
Oh.
The guy said to me, he goes, wait, you're an empath. And I was like, well, he goes, no, you could do what I do. Why aren't you doing it? And I'm like, you know, I mean.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if you're a sensitive individual, then you could probably pick up things that others can't, that
Yeah.
maybe, you know, other people are more calcified, or I don't know, to the senses, the extra sensory perceptions.
And we all
Um,
want to, I'd rather be in the light
Mhm.
and surround myself by people who you see good in, who give back good,
Mhm.
than, you know, there are the givers and the takers in the world.
Mhm.
I'd
Very
rather
true.
surround myself by the givers.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
The
Yes,
takers,
well
to
put.
me, if there's evil and curses in the world, to me it's the takers.
Yeah, yeah. It's very selfishness, and I mean, there's extremes on both ends, right? You know, that doesn't mean you shouldn't take care of yourself, but yeah, I agree. And what about portals? I was thinking about, this is another thing. I was thinking that we are all like walking portals, and what we put our minds to and focus on can grow. So what do you guys think about portals, and how can one, or shan't one, open one up? You guys can go ahead and answer that.
You know, you hear about portals and stuff like that. I don't look at them in the traditional sense like we see on TV. You know, if I go walking over there, I'm going to wind up in another dimension or
It's
something
like
like that.
swirling.
Yeah. I'm not so sure I'm big on that. I believe in, you know, well, I don't know what I believe, you know, but like with some mirrors and things like that along that nature, certain areas, you know, if you want to call that a portal, sure. You know, you want to go to Devil's Den at 2:00 in the morning on July 2nd, you know.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, would that be considered a portal? I don't know, but you know, you're probably gonna, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like going into a den of sharks with a meat necklace. It's
Yeah.
you know.
Makes sense.
I don't look at it as a portal as an actual thing, although I've been told I've got a portal in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And my dogs stand and they bark at that spot all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They bark at that spot. To me, I see a portal as kind of a two-sided mirror. It's kind of an energy. I mean, they've got to come and go somehow, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that opening where they are able to come through to us.
It's
And I don't think they necessarily have to come through that way. I do
Yeah.
that. You know,
It's when people
Yeah.
use that term, it's such a broad term.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like it, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's like a portal. What do you mean a portal? What, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It
It's-
paints a picture in one's mind,
Yeah,
and
it's-
everyone has like a different
Yeah.
picture.
Sure. It's, you know. So there's so many different definitions for
Would
that.
I always say the house is, to me, I feel like the house is a ghost superhighway.
That's a good
We have
analogy.
our resident spirits that we all know and love and some dislike. But it's we have so many people go through the house and they bring their own energy and their own energies along. It's amazing what your mind can do, because your mind can manifest things that she may not see, but I might, because in my mind it's there.
Yeah.
And you do have people that come through that have attachments, that have energy, good or bad, that's attached to them, follows them around. They may not know it, they may know it. And we get all that here in the house, because we get all these people that come into the house and they feel safe in the house. And once that energy is in the house, it starts to realize that there's energy all over this place. So sometimes we get things that pop up that we've never seen before, we've never experienced before. Is it bad? Not necessarily. Is it good? Not necessarily. We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it may only be here for a day or a night or two, or sometimes it spends a little bit more time here.
Hangs out.
Just get, I don't like to call it a portal either.
We think the house actually has an energy of its own.
It does. The house draws you in. It is addictive.
Wow. It's powerful.
It really does.
So maybe a house could be a quote unquote portal,
Right.
and the individuals passing through it are vessels that allow the current of energy to pass through. But do you think that there are certain, like, what do you think about veils and, times during the day that the veil is thinner? That, I mean,
There are definitely times, not necessarily just during the day. A lot of people say 3 a.m., the witching hour. I've been in the house at all different times of day and night, and it seems like the energies are there no matter what.
I don't know if the veil's thinner or if the energies are stronger.
That could be too.
I think they're stronger, certainly during the anniversaries.
Well, that's it.
And also on Remembrance Day.
Yeah, it's more.
And that
I don't think it's more at a certain time of day. It's at certain times of year and around certain events. When we have a whole group of reenactors sitting in the beer garden, and they're playing the Civil War music, and they're singing, and they're having a good time, the energy in the house is unbelievable.
I don't mean to interrupt, but actually I got a pretty good story.
Yeah.
Mentions.
I have to run.
Oh, you do?
thank you
I
guys
have
so
to by
much.
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you, Milt.
Paranormal investigation.
Yeah, no, thank you, Milt. I didn't.
Have fun.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate
You're
your
very
time. We'll have to maybe do this again
Stay on
sometime.
your way for the 10 o'clock. Most definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd-
I love doing it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. It was great to meet you.
You too. Yeah, my
And,
pleasure.
Yeah,
You guys here?
keep in touch.
Yeah, I'll keep in
Mine's
touch.
already done too.
So yeah, but we'll probably be closing soon, and
Yeah, I just have to. I have
and
a
then-
9 o'clock
I'd like to get-
paranormal tour, so.
Okay.
I'd like, before you get started, for us to take him downstairs.
Yeah, go ahead.
oh
If
yeah,
you'd like to go down
Yes,
to the
please.
I'll
cellar
start in
and
the
then
attic.
should I?
start in the garret.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should go to the garret quick.
Yep.
Okay,
So we'll go.
all right.
Is it unlocked?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you recommend stopping this and then starting it? I guess.
Yes.
We're gonna walk through the
Okay.
street.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. All right. We're gonna resume this segment
Yeah, I just gotta
again
get all
soon.
this stuff.